Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part two of Create Expectations. So, you know the drill. You have to go to part one, which is on Zara's channel, watch the whole thing in its entirety so you can see how many of the topics we actually managed to cover successfully. Like it, subscribe it, and then come back here and watch part two,
Yeah.
where we'll go over the topics we didn't cover successfully.
If we weren't successful initially, I don't know why they would think we were successful. We would be successful now.
I don't know. Just try it again. Pick yourself back up, man.
All right, man. Huh.
uh,
So,
so,
man, what are we going to talk about now?
do you want to do some viewer questions? I feel like
Um,
the rest of the stuff can kind of blend into other segments. We'll do a couple of viewer questions.
yeah, fewer questions. Good.
Yeah, fewer. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
So Russ was asking, at what level do you start to assume that your GAC opponent is also scouting you? He's playing in my ballpark, plus an alt that climbed too high in Kybur 4. Obviously, at Xeris level, you can assume everyone scouts, but sometimes I assume I'm being scouted and switch up my defense just to throw my opponent and future opponents off. How necessary is this in the 3 to 5K rank range of Kyber 1?
I guess that's more for me to answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess here's the thing. If you're intent on climbing, if you want to keep going, you're going to sometimes at that level you get sometimes people are going to be overzealous in scout. And so you're always going to be better served by changing things up. I'll tell you what, when I started having my best success, when I really started climbing a lot and getting into the top 50 in on the leaderboards for my main account, it was when I truly started changing my defenses up, because it's not just a matter of like, oh yeah, I'll just like put this team down and put like, you have to make sure that you can clear your opponent or at least be competitive against them enough that you can actually beat them. And so a lot of it is also trying to rearrange. You're like, okay, so if I have to so like just one example is if I want to bring Supreme Leader Kylo to beat Lord Vader, then that composition requires me to use old Daka and Zombie. So if I want to beat that, and I need to use Watt. So if I want to use that team, I no longer have Maul as an option to beat other teams, like to beat General Skywalker, for instance. Maul is off the table because I don't have Watt. A lot of times. Sometimes you can use Gideon or whatever, but you have to make sure you account for that. You have to make sure that you don't put Night Sisters on defense, which is something that I've done and had some good success with, even at the higher levels, because people don't expect it. But uh, so it's all, and then you have to figure out, okay, so I'm going to use Supreme Leader Kylo here. Usually my bounty hunters are slated for that. Like, what should I do with my bounty hunters? Like, it's this whole thing, and so you have to build up your processes and your different teams and trying to figure out how all the different moving pieces go. You have to think not only, okay, I want to use this team to beat this team. You have to think how many other teams on my roster are affected. And I'll just tell you now, it takes a long time to get there, to finally figure out like all the different moving parts of your roster. And so when you do get there, it's great. And if you're at the 3 to 5 range, you should be trying to do that now, because you need practice.
That's fair.
Like that, to me, the practice aspect is more important. So I don't know if that makes, does that make sense? I
I
don't hope
think
I.
I think that makes sense. I think that's like you need the practice of switching up your defense without screwing yourself over on offense.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, because if you take Supreme Leader Kylo and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this Lord Vader team, but
Mm-hmm.
then you don't have your Night Sisters, they're on defense, like you just brought a worthless squad. He doesn't counter that anymore. Like,
Right.
you suddenly are down one counter, and that was, if that's a major part of your plan, then you're just up a creek.
Right. Well, there was even like for me one match where I was going to counter, like I fully prepared myself to counter Lord Vader, completely spaced on the fact that Maul would be on the team, and I left Bam on defense.
Yeah, that's
And I
part
was
of
like,
it. Yep.
oh, and I screwed myself. Um I will say what I have noticed at my level, which is lower than the 3 to 5K rank of Cairo 1. When I'm scouting my opponent, if they set the exact same defense every single time for like even the last 2 weeks, they're not scouting me. If they change even one team per match and the rest of it is the same, they're scouting.
Or at least to some degree, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what my flex is, because then I'm like, they're obviously looking to see if they can, should they put Lord Vader down? Should they keep Lord Vader? Should they put Kenobi down? Should they keep Kenobi? Like all of that kind of stuff. And that's what I look for. And that's how I know if they're looking at me as well.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Also, just keep in mind, just something to keep in mind for scouting. One of the things that I like to see what my opponent's offensive range is. And really, like, once you get to the top levels, like, most people can do most anything, really. But, for instance, like, a real obvious one is, do they use Jedi Master Kenobi to counter your own Kenobi? Like, to counter other Jedi Master Kenobis? Or can they use Jedi Master Luke? Can they use Lord Vader to counter Kenobi? Do they use the Bounty Hunter 2-shot, like where Bounty Hunters kill Cat, and then they use General Skywalker to finish it off? Like, what can they do? And then you can know it's safe, because sometimes you'll find some savant who's just like, I don't think anyone else could pull that off but you, man. But that was amazing. Like I've seen some total, just ridiculously skilled people with Mon Mothma teams pull off some crazy things. And it's so consistent, and they're not cheating. They just know how. Like, I'm like, I can see how it works, but I just don't have them tuned to that level.
Right.
But in that case, you're like, oh, they kill Darth Revan teams every time? Not that Mon Mothma does, but if they did, you'd be like, oh, okay, like, they're getting a great deal if I put Darth Revan on defense. Maybe I just don't put Darth Revan on at all, because then they'll have to use Mon Mothma on a lesser team. Just as an example, we're like so maxed out on things we need to talk about, and I'm like, here, have like a 2 or 3 minute tip.
Okay. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So Steve Wealthy was asking that he's saying, so he just hit 4 million galactic power. He's already completed regular conquest multiple times, which means he's now eligible for going to hard mode. With Datacron.
No, that's not what it means. It just 4 million means.
But you have to complete regular conquest as well. If you haven't gone all the way to the end, it won't let you in.
No, my main account did hard the first time, didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
They did that the first time, yes. But then after that, they made it, you have to go all the way to the end of normal mode and be 4 million GP to get into hard.
Let us know in the comments if that's true, folks. I don't trust that. But actually, I don't have a way to measure that, to gauge that. So I know that Prevail Man was doing hard, but at the same time, maybe we'd already gotten to the end. So, okay, so he's gotten to the end. One way or another, he's 4 million GP, he's gotten to the end. So continue.
Okay, so with the Datacrons at the end of each sector, is it better for him to jump into hard mode and presumably not progress as far, or stay on regular mode, presumably to max it and get to the Datacrons at the end of each sector?
Okay, can I try this? Because I know you're the Conquest expert.
Sure.
So you can tell me what I got wrong. But so first off, if you do hard mode, it's always been more beneficial to do hard mode. Just in terms of the crates, the rewards, because if you can get to the first crate, that's the same reward as the red crate in normal. So if you can get to the first crate, which almost everyone can get to the red crate, to the first crate, it's going to be it's going to be equal to or better than normal. But then I guess the real question is, what are the nodes yielding in terms of Datacron stuff, and how much does your account really need Datacrons in the first place? If you're 4 million, I assume you have a couple squads that are fully relicked. Do you have them all relic 5, and are they squads that are actually relevant to the current set?
Mhm.
But let's hear from the master now.
I would 100% go to hard mode. You're gonna get better rewards. The 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 drop rate in hard mode, I would presume, I don't know. So someone please tell me what the drop rate is in normal. I'm presuming the drop rate in sector 1 for the Datacron node would be more than the drop rate in normal mode of sector 1. I'm also of the mindset that depending on what your roster looks like, Datacrons might not be a huge factor yet for you. And this is something that I think just in general in the game that a lot of people are not necessarily struggling to realize, but knowing where, I don't want to say knowing what's in your lane kind of thing, but it's okay not to have it right away. And it, honest, for me, it would make more sense to get the better rewards, start working towards the Conquest character, because that grind is going to be even longer and more important than the Datacron. And you'll still be able to grind, like even in hard mode, when you're grinding the Datacron nodes, it's sector 1 and sector 5. And if you're hitting 4 million GP, there's no reason why you cannot finish sector 1. I'd be shocked if you couldn't get past sector 4, depending on your roster.
I'd be shocked as long as you're like good, man.
I mean, I know people who have 5 million GP accounts and are red crating in hard mode.
They're recreating. That's cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would go to hard mode. I would get the better rewards, get the Datacrons from there. And they're all going to recycle, right, into future sets. So it's all going to compound for you in the future anyway.
Yeah, what she said especially. Okay. So let's we asked for guys for photos that trigger people last time. All right, like the things that bug people, and so you always send them a photo of your roster. You're like, man, I have a relic 7. I have a relic 9 Gamorrean guard. And it bugs my guild leader so much that I didn't put relic 9 on one of my galactic legends. So I send him the picture every time or something like that. If you have those, please submit them on the Discord server. It's in the link below on the Crate channel. We would love them. So with that said, our first one, and I thought this was especially appropriate, is, and now I'm showing it, just something to make Sarah a little bit sad.
It's so sad.
It's BB0.
He's not like, there's nothing. There's no mods. There's no abilities. He's level 1.
You know what makes me laugh about this actually is they did take the time and the resources to 7-star him.
I know. He's just so, he's like a deflated beach ball.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Thank you for submitting that.
I'm so sad about it.
Let me see. This is from Spirit, by the way. Spirit gets credit for it. So, and it says they submitted it for Sarah. So yeah, BB8. I mean, you have skin art.
I do of BB8.
Of BB8. So yeah,
I love BB8.
Man,
I
know. Well, if you really loved him, you'd love all forms of him.
Even deflated beach ball forms.
Yeah, which you clearly don't. So, instead, let's talk about wonderful Asajj Ventress for our character review. So, Omicron is here, and that's exciting. What do you know about Asajj?
So her damage ramps every time an ally or an enemy dies, which is really fun.
Can you click on that one? That's the unique.
This one, right? Rampage?
Yeah. It actually, it's fun because it's actually what she does. She ramps. Rampage. Oh, could you just click on number 8 there on the top so we can see the full ability in the big box?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, so Yeah, so she ramps,
Mhm.
and so one of the things to note here is that she gains crit chance every time. So when people die, which the like Night Sister the whole team is designed to die,
Mhm.
you kind of you like benefit from having a gear 10 paper zombie, frankly. But the 15% crit chance means eventually, even if she doesn't have high crit chance to start with, she pretty quickly gets to the point where she's critting every time.
Right. I actually forgot that she gains max health as well when this
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, the
I
five
just
percent.
completely spaced on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she gets all this cool stuff.
Mhm.
So she'd actually, because of her crit chance continuing to escalate and the offense, she's one of those characters that you can put an offense set on, or you can actually get away with putting a crit damage set on her.
Right.
Like some character, like the greater preponderance of characters these days really want offense sets, and so it's really nice to find an opportunity to put a crit damage set that you've
Mhm.
already farmed and like worked up, and yeah, it's a good destination for them.
Okay. Um, so there was like a lot, and I'm curious what your opinion is, because there was a lot of back and forth about if her or Talzin is the better leader.
Okay.
Because she's got her leadership.
Yeah. Which one do you think is better?
I mean, I use Talzin more,
Hmm.
um, solely because I like the opportunity of being able to have defeated Night Sisters come back if you get the kill shot.
Sure. Well, and that's the one that you ramp Asajj up like crazy because
Mhm.
they you summon them in and then they die again and that counts as another death and that gives you more turn meter. It gives you it resets Daka's cooldowns. It does all sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
I think that if you so they're both pretty decent. The thing is, a lot of people don't realize how strong her lead is in terms of turn meter gain,
Right.
because like it reduces turn meter on a lot of teams, and if you can kind of use that to interplay with the uh, like with your other abilities out there, like and you can stun people, like you're she she is a better control piece than Talzin is.
Okay.
Talzin is more of just like a blunt instrument, like I'm gonna ramp up and you're gonna die. Asajj is more like you're not really gonna get many turns and I'm gonna control the whole time.
Right.
Like I actually use and gosh, I don't use this on me, guys, but I use a Saj lead when I put on defense now because people are ready for Talzin, and
Mhm.
Talzin's relatively easy to prepare for. It's like if you can avoid the stuns, then you're just good. With her, it's like some of my characters may never get a turn because they just keep getting their turn meter reduced, and then they get stunned, and it's a whole mess.
Right. Fair.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question. In terms of vital uh, Zetas,
Mhm.
probably I would recommend not doing her leadership unless you want to use her as the lead specifically.
Right.
Like the Talzin lead has probably got more utility just because it counters more teams
Mhm.
right now, but the Omicron might change things actually.
Yeah. So let's look at it.
Sure.
We'll just scroll down here. Oh wow, it's a novel. Holy.
Yeah. Have you read it yet?
I have read it. I
Okay.
just didn't realize how big it was in game.
That's what she said. So okay, there's a lot of cool stuff. So Night Sisters are all stat hungry for specifically health and potency. They love health and potency. Potency is wonderful, and obviously the max health is nice, though it makes you susceptible to certain counters. You just have to deal with that if you're Night Sisters, though. You have to deal with a lot, frankly. But I also really love that you get 30% tenacity because you can start building some tenacity builds that it's like,
Mhm.
well, if you can't debuff them, then you're probably up as a creek. So this adds so much though. Like so it's for a team that's already messes with turn meter a lot.
Mhm.
this whole team, like it's a little, it's a mini leadership is what it is, because you can take this with Talzin lead still, and it's just cool. You can spam the endless wrath thing,
Yeah.
which is
Which
pretty
is
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. So one thing I will say, unless they changed her AI,
Hmm.
she never uses that on defense. If she's on
Oh,
defense,
really?
like, well, she'll use it if there's an enemy at under 50% health. That's what she uses it for the AI.
So I wonder if they've changed it with the Omicron, if they've tweaked her AI.
Well, you would hope that they would. Um,
Hmm.
she's got a. I should have mentioned she's got a lot of good utility with her other abilities. She can cleanse,
Hmm. She
or
does.
whatever, or dispel, and she's also got the, and that's also a heal,
Hmm.
which is really nice. And she can also stun half the time, 50% of the time. She stuns every time, and then yeah, but this endless wrath, this puts an extra emphasis on it, because this is like, if you can live long enough, if you can survive long enough, this will grind even really tough teams down, because
Right.
you just keep getting their defense down by 4% and max health, and if you can just spam that, and she takes a lot of turns,
And her
y-
damage is ramping.
yeah, like it,
Man.
it's pretty fun actually. I'm excited to see what people come up with to be able to counter. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know if it changes that much at the really top end, but this is something I'm definitely going to get once I've resolved all my Malik and Grand Inquisitor issues with Omicrons.
Malgus.
Malgus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like the one thing is I'm like, it sounds really cool, but I don't know what it changes. Like, does this become a team that is a new counter for something, or you know?
Oh, you also have the when someone dies, your whole team gets protection.
Hmm.
So you're also in this situation where your whole team is more resilient, and you get more banners in GAC as well.
That's a good point.
Like, if you could set it up so that she does one final AoE to kill everyone, your whole team is going to jump up to 25 or up to 100% protection.
That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, it is. Should be fancy. I think it'll end up countering some surprising things, is my prediction, but we'll have to
Hmm.
see. I also think that Talia might end up being better than Spirit in the new build, because you're
Mm,
going to start wanting to get rid of those debuffs on you.
right. Yeah, 'cause she's got the cleanse.
Yeah. Okay, so we're running out of time. So you want to
All right.
look at the pack?
Yeah, let's go look at this pack. Let's go to the store, the Canadian store. So silly.
Yeah. Okay, so fine. I don't know. Some people say finally. I mean, I've just been waiting. I haven't even bought this yet, so I'm not like really excited. But they have not had a pack for Datacrons yet, for
Hmm.
some kind of crons, and this one, this is their first pack
It's their
for it,
first
and
one, and it's a calendar.
it is, and this is a calendar that's really interesting, because this is for the current Datacron set, but the new set is going to start in
Hmm.
a couple days.
Right, which is why this is weird.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
wondering about that because I was like, it's a dark side. So what's the faction? I was wondering about it because I don't know if you noticed this or not. When this
Hmm.
first came out, so right now it's got like 4 days left.
Hmm.
When it first came out, it said like 174 days or something ridiculous remaining.
Oh.
And I was like, how are you going to guarantee? That's why I was so confused when, because I was like,
Okay.
what's the
Hmm.
faction going to be? And it has to be viable the whole time. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is,
Um,
yeah, like this one will be viable for 2 more months, and then it'll never ever be viable again.
right. So you can spend money and you can actually click on it on the Datacron here on day one,
Hmm.
and you can see that it is locked for dark side units.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah,
I actually didn't realize that.
so you can see that it will purposely roll dark side, and obviously it's going to be inquisitorious.
You can re-roll to light side, though, it said.
Oh, that's interesting. Would you do that? That seems silly. If you're paying money for a guaranteed, so imagine you pay money for a guaranteed dark side Datacron, and then you spend the reroll and you get 2 light side options. Would you not be mad? I would be mad about that. You should only get dark side options.
I guess I wouldn't have noticed that in the first place, so I wouldn't have been mad.
I don't
I'd
know.
have been like, oh, look, it rolled dark side.
I mean,
But so the interesting part to me is in 2 weeks we will be knee deep in the second
right.
group, and so I do think it's interesting though that all of the reroll things are at the end, because that, like, here's the thing, that set you can't farm it anymore. It'll be gone from
Yep.
the stores, and as far as I know, but it'll be
You'll be able to purchase it in smaller shipments, these materials.
okay.
Smaller quantities in the store.
Yeah, so
But you won't get it in Territory War or Conquest.
yeah, so it's not gonna be as available to work on
Mhm.
in, but you'll still, I mean, this is a lot of acumen 2 and 3 here is what it is. Like, not much of one, because
Mhm.
one you presumably have a lot of already. So this is for getting, I mean, in terms of just money value, compared to the crystals that you have to spend to get these, this is a great deal.
Right.
Uh, just in terms of that, of course, people are going to be like, "Well, I don't want to whale on datacrons because they just disappear after a while," and I can understand that. The one thing I will point out is that their disintegrate value, like once they go away,
Mhm.
is like you're still going to get a decent amount of these materials back for set 4.
Right.
Not all of that value is just lost forever. Though I'll admit that this is also for a set that you're only getting for 2 months now, not 3.
Right. Because you haven't been able to use it this entire time for the first month.
Right. So this is for a set that is gonna be gone in 2 months, not 3.
Right.
So a little more expensive on that end. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do. I need to figure out exactly how much I would need to get another at level 9. And
Well,
if it's plausible, then I might do it.
that's actually a really great point, because this is for the set that is the level 6 is for Inquisitorius. So if you don't have your Inquisitorius at Relic 5, that devalues this a tiny bit, because you're only realistically taking this to level 5.
Good point.
Otherwise, like, you're just wasting materials.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. Are you gonna buy this?
I don't know. I was thinking about it until I just said that right now. I might have just talked myself out of it.
Well, you say that you're buying it for Inquisitor, but you can apply these to the light side ones if you want.
Yeah, you can. But my point is that the level 6 roll here, if assuming you keep the dark side initial roll, the level 6 roll is going to be Inquisitorius.
Yeah, but you don't have to keep, like, you could apply this to a different datacron that you just have in your inventory already. Like this one you can just
Right.
delete if you want.
Right. You could take the materials and use them elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Which
it
is a good
is.
point.
Yay. Yay, I made a good point. All right.
I'm expecting to see more of these in the future, by the way.
Of course. I'm
So
surprised we haven't seen Sector 2 yet. Or not Sector 2, but Wave 2,
set 2.
Set 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
I
do
mean, some people have.
should we roast a roster? Get all
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, we can roast a roster.
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
your game face on?
We will see. Hopefully that's the
I
right
guess we
ally
will.
code. Yeah.
All right, here, let's delete our faces for a minute. So this is for Adis Okar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like an in-game name, or did someone come up with that?
I don't know.
I feel like if you did come up with that yourself, then you are a real misfit.
What's he at? He's at 5.8, almost 6 million.
All right. Okay, so 6 million. Erodium 1.
Hmm.
So you should probably be in the Kybers at that GP level, because I was. I was in Kyber 2 at this GP level.
Okay. It's got Executor, so let's see. Let's see the rest of the ships.
I did not think that was what you were going to say.
Oh.
Okay, so
Okay.
missing something. No Radis.
No Radis. 5-star finalizer.
Okay.
Cron is not relic.
Okay, so the three best fleets, best-ish fleets, are, kind of geared a little bit.
They're there.
Okay, so clearly no.
This is why no.
So they don't
No
have Jedi
Radis.
Master Kenobi,
Right.
and they don't have Sith Eternal at the very least. It doesn't matter. I'm just
Okay.
you can tell by what characters are geared. Okay, so they don't care about resistance.
No, they don't care about First Order either.
So they have at most 3 Galactic Legends.
Oops, I clicked on the ship. Oops.
And a pathetic ship it is. Oh, they don't. They also don't have Supreme Leader Kylos. They're down to maximum of 2 GLs.
Right. Oh, I did it again.
Yeah, it's not like we're operating on a time frame here.
No,
It's
no.
good.
We're having technical problems. It's fine. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's 5-star tie. So 5-star tie interceptor is okay.
It is bad.
It's bad. I mean, depending on your roster.
Why don't you have Sarah to do your Conquest?
I was gonna say, depending on your roster, you should be able to red crate and Conquest. That's
Yeah, but
6
the
million
roster
GP.
sucks because they only have 2 GLs or less.
You don't need 2. You only need 1.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as and you don't need ships, so.
Well,
So
thank goodness,
This
'cause
disaster is.
Yeah, thank goodness they don't need ships, because if they needed ships, they'd be screwed.
Oh man. I mean, the
Alright.
pilotless ones are farmed.
Hey, at least that.
That's a uptick, I guess. I'm sad. All right.
Can we just move on? This is pissing me off.
Okay. So, look, they have the 1 GL you need to get red crate and Conquest.
They don't have the ultimate, though.
Okay, so get the ultimate. Put the ultimate on. Please do not tell me you're one of those people who holds on to the ultimate of Jedi Master Luke because you think it's not good.
Yeah, that's the most preposterous thing. Especially,
it's false.
Well, and especially if you're facing Lord Vader, if you want to counter Lord Vader with him, you have to. You need to, because you save that ult, and then when Lord Vader pops his, you can pop yours in response and cleanse everyone, because it's a built-in cleanse through your ability block.
Oops, I clicked on Piet.
Sorry, everyone, for Sarah's technically being clumsy.
We're having misclicks over here. Misfit
So,
misclicks.
Imagine a world where your 5th best character is Jedi Training Rey, but you don't have resistance worked up.
Or her 3rd Zeta. Let's look at resistance. Let's just have a look here.
Oh,
so
but they only have 1 Zeta on CLS too. So.
Oh man. So she's geared for, because she's the requirement for what's his face? Luke.
Grumpface Luke, not Grumpface Sarah. Hey, look at the BB-8.
Oh man.
Look,
Only 1
it's
Zeta.
BB-8. It's BB-8.
Can we work on this?
Hey, look, BB-8.
I feel like you're, I don't know. I just feel like you got Rey. You might as well at least get a team out of this.
Well, hey, good news. They put Zetas on gear 9 characters, or gear 8. Sorry.
Oh man.
But look at Rebels here. Let's stare at Commander Luke here for a minute.
He's got 3.
Okay, I misread it. Okay, well.
He's got 3.
My bad, everyone. My bad. Okay.
Okay.
This is okay.
Huh. Pal's got
Ish.
his Zeta. Okay.
It gets sad real quick.
It
But
does. It's,
I mean, the selection gets sad real quick too. Rebels are
um
like, good, 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 bad. Just
I looked at this earlier.
okay. Let's
Um
look. What do you want? What do you want?
we're gonna look at Night Sisters.
Okay,
They
so
just
two Zetas on Asajj for some reason.
Cure 12. And then nothing
Um,
else really.
so is that just for like
Doesn't
General Skywalker unlock or some stupid crap?
do we have General Scott? Oh, do we want to look at? I guess Jedi would be relatively okay because we have Luke.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't know. What else is important?
It's probably Sith after this. Let's see.
You
Okay.
took guard relics, but you don't have relics on, like, you have a relic JTR sitting there, and you didn't give relics to give her a team, but you took guard relic 3.
Hey, the gauntlet. Please tell me that they have the gauntlet geared up.
Can I see it through here?
Doesn't look like it. They do have 60 mods though.
I
That's
thought you
good.
could see. I thought you could see the ship through the character.
If it's your own ship.
Oh, that's dumb. Come on, CG, make it usable.
You want to scroll down to Empire is what the fleet
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
gauntlet is.
Yeah, yeah. That's man, and ISC. But you didn't get the interceptor
Yeah, and not well. Yeah.
and shuttle. Man.
Okay, can we just move on?
Okay.
Every time I look at these roasts ships, I just makes me unreasonably angry. Okay, so they don't have a good anything.
Okay, let's just.
No, well, hold on. They don't have troopers, right? Do that, and do they click on clones real quick while you're still on the screen, please? I just want to see what their clones are like. Okay, so they have a strong 501st. It looks like
And that's it.
that's all you need.
And then what did you want to see? Troopers?
Sure. I think
Click.
it's gonna say nothing. Yeah.
That's about nothing.
Well, hey, you put some Zetas on them. Maybe they'll be worth a damn.
Ida's got her Omicron.
Look at her Omicron. Why do you have an what with who? I guess I did that too, but I just that was like my team was better than this. This is
Oh.
I'm speechless. Let's
I'm
move on.
still so upset that Gar got relics.
Well, if you're gonna put relics on Gar, by the way, guys, you need relic 5 because 5 is when you start passing certain speed thresholds for counters that you need. Like relic 3 is just not enough.
Sad.
Yeah, let's scroll down a little bit and then we gotta say goodbye to people.
All right. Then we can stop being sad.
Yeah, it'll be nice to stop being depressed by this crap.
Level 20 Ewok Scout. I mean, that is a random. Whoops, sorry.
Oh,
No mods.
That's probably a function of starting with Ewok Scout.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm
Level
pretty
80
sure.
Resistance Trooper. 18 on Jawa. I mean, I don't think level 18 is a function of anything.
What do Canadians know about functions?
Not a whole lot.
What would you say? What would you say you know about functions?
Like mathematical functions? Ooh, it's dicey.
So nowhere close to Star Killer.
No. What are we working on next then?
Just like generalized
Oh, Mara's got her Omicron
horse
too.
crap. But no Zetas. Woo.
No. Mara has her Omicron. But oh, hang on, we'll go the other way. Palps is still gear 12.
Mm-hmm. 1 Zeta.
Cool.
Well, thank goodness Moff Gideon has his Zeta. That'll help.
Ah.
All right, shall we call it, Sarah?
Yeah, we can call it. I'm so sad about BB-8. Both BB-8s.
Send us pictures of level 1 BB-8s, guys. Just flood the gambit. flood
Please
the fleet.
Okay, that's it. We're out of time.
It's over.